Very true. So that gets us into our next topic here, mansplaining. Ooh, yeah, mansplaining. So I'm gonna talk on this for a minute. I'm been told I'm a master of mansplaining and I'm a master of coach speak. If you don't know what mansplaining is, well, you probably do. I'm guaranteeing you do because I've heard guarantee you've had a man of some kind or woman splain or mansplain something to you. Basically, what it is, it's a man explaining it to. Commonly, it's to explain something to a woman in a condescending way that assumes she has no knowledge about the topic. Very common in sports, very common in male dominated fields, and then, vice versa, where a woman will woman explain something to a man for him to understand. Sure, we've been on both sides of it, but for us it's super important. Aaron, you've called me out on it before, jokingly and lovingly, when I'm talking to my kids, and I may or may not be mansplaining something to my girls.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I hate the whole concept in general of mansplaining, womansplaining. I mean, it's just it's. I think it's misconstrued as a like a thing between the sexes, but honestly, it's just like you come off condescending to someone, and it just affects the whole tone of the conversation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a tone setting thing, right? So it's you go into something unintentionally, condescending, and someone takes it the wrong way, and all of a sudden you're mansplaining.
Yeah, exactly. And there is ways to kind of go about it, to approach it, where you don't come off that way. And really, what you do in that situation is you understand who you're talking to, whether it's a man or a woman, because men can mansplain to other men, women can women-splain to other women. It really what it comes down to is just assuming the other person knows nothing about what you're talking about, and first eliminating that assumption because you never know. Second is knowing your audience, reading the room, and I forgot my third point there, but really just don't assume. Know who you're talking to, and just have a normal conversation with them. Don't try to explain something. If someone has a question, I'm pretty sure we're at that point in our society where if we have a question, we'll ask, or if we don't understand something, we will say, "Hey, we don't understand." You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it. I mean, it's not necessarily a problem between men and women. I think it's getting played that way, like oh, mansplaining and women'splaining. I mean, it's just we when you have a lot of knowledge about something, you naturally tend to come off condescending and tell someone, oh, you just get into explaining certain things that you would assume they don't know about.
Yeah, and I feel it's even there, within the workplace, like boss to subordinate, or when you're, or just when anyone's somewhere where they think they're higher or above the person that they're interacting with.
Yeah, no, I see that a lot too, and it's unfortunate because I've seen many cases where just a regular worker is way smarter or more knowledgeable than a manager is, and it's just because like the manager has a degree or some kind of qualification that got them the position,
Mm-hmm.
that, but they really don't know anything about what they're doing.
Yeah, no, and that happens all the time in work, especially where the boss is like, "Oh yeah, I'm the boss. I know what I'm doing better than what my 20-year, worker knows." Newsflash, you don't.
Yeah, no, no kidding.
Just you don't know better than that person, and don't assume you do. There's that old saying about assuming what happens. So why would you assume and It's just really a really negative stigma, especially it happens in food service a lot, happens in retail a ton, and it especially happens in workplaces far too often, where it's like just the dynamics and someone thinks they're above someone else, and you can tell those people that feel that way about themselves as well. So that's mansplaining. So Aaron, personally, what do you do to practice, being or having aggressive